100 people are dead as the fighting continues for a third day. The Biden White House holding a barbecue Sunday night. A White House pool report also said that a live band could be heard coming from the area near the Rose Garden, even in the face of this war underway. Joining me right now is Georgia Congressman Austin Scott. He's a member of the House Intelligence and Armed Services Committee. Congressman, let me kick it off with your reaction to what we're hearing this morning. Assess the situation for us.
No, it's horrible, Maria. And, you know, what we need to know is where the intelligence failures came from, how it happened. We need to make sure that these same groups are not working their way into the United States. We know that our great weakness is the southern border. And then when it comes to the Biden administration, we need to hold them accountable. When they say they're going to send Israel weapons, we also need to make sure that the rules of engagement surrounding those weapons allow the Israelis to do what they need to do to secure their territory. We saw this with prior Democratic administrations where they would put a tremendous amount of assets in the region, but then they would set rules of engagement around those weapons, and that didn't allow us to win. And so the Israelis not only need the weapons, but they need the rules of engagement that allow them to go out and do what needs to be done to secure their territory and end this terrorism.
Yeah, which is why we are going to be watching combat operations for the next several days to see what the United States will do. How will the U.S. respond to 9 Americans dead as a result of the Hamas aggression? The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Iran was behind Hamas's plan to attack Israel all the while. Iranian security officials giving the terrorists the green light apparently last week to launch this attack. Congressman, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I don't doubt it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I hope that we have the evidence that happened, if it did happen, and then I hope that we take action. If you are funding terrorism, then you are a terrorist. That's all there is to it. And so trying to pacify Iran, not only with this administration, but the prior administration under Barack Obama, has not made the world a safer place. Pacifying terrorists simply will not work. And negotiating with terrorists simply encourages more hostage taking. And so, you know, when we talk about $6 billion for 6 people, you know, how many people are now going to die because of the money that Iran has and their ability to use it to fund the activities like you're seeing right now. So this is going to be a long, drawn-out war. This is not something that's going to be over when the weekend's over with. And we as the United States, we need to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to support Israel. And we need to make sure that not just sending them the weapon systems and the intelligence and the other things that they need to secure Israel are done, but we need to make sure that this administration is not playing games with the rules of engagement and the rules that surround us, giving the Israelis the weapons and the intelligence that they need.
Well, look, obviously Congress has not gotten an intelligence briefing as you are without a Speaker of the House. The House hoping to elect a new Speaker this week. Republican Congressman Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise remaining the front runners. Here's Jim Jordan with me yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures. Watch. Tell me what your first directive would be as Speaker.
To help the state of Israel. There will be some resolution on the floor to support the state of Israel. We will consult with Chairman McCall. We will consult with the Senate. We'll work with the State Department and the White House. But that is something that I think gets bipartisan, bicameral, full support from the United States government.
Congressman, you and your colleagues holding a closed-door forum tomorrow. A vote is expected on the Speaker on Wednesday. Your thoughts on where this goes? Who are you endorsing or supporting for Speaker?
Yes, so I support Steve Scalise. I will tell you right now, if Jim Jordan is the Republican nominee inside conference, then I will vote for him on the floor of the House of Representatives. No questions asked, Maria. We need to get this over sooner rather than later. The longer this drags out, the worse it is for our country and the world. The Democrats and what they did last week, they have always wanted a coalition speaker. And so to McCarthy's credit, he would not negotiate with the Democrats to maintain the speakership. I appreciate that in him. He does not get much credit for that. But let's talk about what Joe Biden did last week, Maria, because Joe Biden told a flat-out lie to the American citizens when he came out and said McCarthy had cut a deal with him on Ukraine funding. The President of the United States told a flat-out lie to the American citizens when he said that. Kevin McCarthy did not cut a deal with him on Ukraine funding. And then Joe Biden delivered 208 Democrat votes to take McCarthy out of the speakership. Matt Gaetz delivered 8 Republican votes to take McCarthy out of the speakership, and 6 of those 8 people were opposed to any funds going to Ukraine. So match timing, and what was impeccable because of what the President of the United States did. But don't underestimate Biden, the lie that he told early in the week, and what he did to secure 208 votes to remove Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker of the House. So Biden has created this chaos. We now have a tremendous amount of things. When we talk about what's happening in Israel right now, Maria, look, we've got FISA reauthorization that has got to be done before the end of the year. There have got to be some changes to it. Trust me, I know there need to be changes to it. We've got a National Defense Authorization Act that has to be done by the end of the year. We've got appropriation measures that have to be done in about 30 days. Biden knows the chaos that he was creating last week when he went on TV and said that Kevin McCarthy had cut a deal with him, which was a flat-out lie. And then Biden locks down 208 Democrats to get McCarthy taken out of the speakership. And now we're in a constitutional crisis. And while 8 Republicans participated in it, it was Joe Biden and the 208 Democrats that made it happen.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, Biden said that, and it put McCarthy on his heels, forcing him to explain, no, I did not cut a deal with the Democrats, which, of course, was what Matt Gaetz was charging from the beginning. Congressman, where does this go now? Are you saying that this war in the Middle East has created a sense of urgency, an expedited process to get that speaker in place?
I certainly hope so, Maria. Look, it's not just Israel that we're watching. I mean, we've got situations. Our southern border has been wide open. I mean, we have been trying to secure the border. The Republican position with regard to Ukraine and the border has been that the two must move simultaneously. If there is no border security for the United States of America, then additional funds will not flow to Ukraine. Now, I support the mission in Ukraine. Full disclosure, Maria, I support the mission in Ukraine. And if McCarthy had cut a deal with Biden, I'm on the Intel Committee, I'm on the Armed Services Committee, I support Ukraine, the mission there, and I would know if McCarthy had cut the deal. I'm telling you right now, Joe Biden told a flat-out lie to the American citizens last week, and then he got 208 Democrats to vote with 8 Republicans, 6 of which opposed the amendment, 6 of which supported the amendments to strip the funding from Ukraine just a couple of weeks ago to take the Speaker of the House out. He has created a constitutional crisis in this country, and we as Republicans need to put an end to it as soon as possible. So I'm with Steve Scalise. If Jim Jordan wins inside the conference, then I am 100% prepared to vote for Jim Jordan on the floor of the House of Representatives. But we have got to put an end to this and move forward.
All very disturbing what you're saying in terms of the Biden White House communicating all of that last week. Congressman, we're going to keep a